the hell? Oh, what? Son of a... Chief Engineer Olsen, please. I knew I had to do a review of Star Trek Picard, the first episode of Season 2, but I was drinking my Rectagino and I swear to God that I was still full when I was in the mess hall. Engineer Olsen, fix the transporter. I think I lost half my Rectagino. And it's cold! Well, I let Chief Engineer Olsen fix the damn transporters again. I will give you my final thoughts on the first episode of Season 2 of Star Trek Picard. You might wonder why I didn't review Discovery every week. Discovery is a show on its own. I was like, it's already going, like this is Season 4. And I was like, if I start now, it's just gonna be a bit too late. So yeah, I already did a Season 1 review of Star Trek Picard. It's on my last channel, my previous channel, a bit. My first impression of Season 2. And to be honest, I was so fucking hyped about this. And I saw the first images coming out online. And then I saw the trailer, I think a teaser trailer. And so, yeah, like right before it was like started to release, I did like 5 trailers already. 5 different trailers. Did it disappoint? No, it was everything that... I don't want to insult the other shows. I don't want to insult Discovery, because Discovery, it's good. There's a bit flaws here in Season 4, you know, facing issues with some episodes. But otherwise, you know, it's its own thing. This show, on the other hand, they've learned to the fans. They've learned from every fan comment they've gotten from Series 1 of Star Trek Picard, of Season 1. I'm saying why I'm saying series, like it's still Doctor Who. They listen to the fans. They listen to every bit of fan complaint we have given them. Like every little thing that needs to be tweaked, they did it. I have no idea who's in charge of Alex Kurtzman, as right now is basically the new Star Trek Go guy in like at CBS and Paramount Plus. But somebody listened. We had this last season of supposed to be the big battle with Captain Riker coming back, which should have been awesome, but basically because of time issues, they literally copy and paste the same ship all over. Like it was a whole fleet of almost the same ship. There was a little minor differences between designs, but there's like I think 3 or maybe 4 different variations on the same ship. And it's a bit weird because, you know, you had this whole design arsenal at your ready, like the old canon, like TNG, Voyager, and like the movies. Even Star Trek Online, like why didn't you go, you know, get more of those ships? And they did. This episode collectively made this show feels like Star Trek for the first time, I think, in a very long time. Discovery had a good run, like with the first 2 seasons. Second season was much better. Still had some issues with writing here and there, and the pacing also. But the first episode of Season 2 of Star Trek Picard felt like the most Star Trek we have gotten, basically, in a while. In a very long while. Because I like Lower Decks. I'm gonna say Lower Decks is great. It's funny, it's Rick and Morty with Star Trek. I like Prodigy, but I don't count them as like a live action show as Star Trek Picard. I love them. Like I watch them all the time. Like I'm still waiting on part 2 of Season 1 of Prodigy. It's aimed at kids at Nickelodeon thing, and it's good. But this is the best Star Trek live action. There's some real actors and stuff like that I've seen in a very, very long time. Also, from this point on, that's going to be spoilers, so please beware. The episode has a cold opening. A cold opening means like you have this opening and then it flashes back, you know, before like 48 hours I think, or something, like a few days before the event happened in the teaser part. Which is good. Like you give this like action thing we've seen in the preview clip they released online. And that's the whole damn thing. That's basically like the first few minutes of the episode. But from there on forward, the pacing is good. We see Picard back at Chateau, at this vineyard, doing its thing, creating the wine that he's like famous for. or his family's like known for. And we see Laris, and we see everybody coming back in the best possible way ever. We see Laris, which has a love interest for some reason. I like that. You know, I like that they give her a bit more to do, because she's a Romulan in the first season. She was a bit more Telstiar, a little bit helper here, but she didn't have that much of a character in the first season, to be honest. So there was a little bit more development than only this episode. Like this, like, oh yeah, this is good. Give us more of this. We have the plot going on the USS Stargazer, the newer version. I think it's not. I don't think it's a refit. The USS Stargazer was Captain Picard's, well, first command. I think it's Commander Picard. I think before that. I could be wrong, please don't like hate on me. It's sort of a newer version of the Stargazer. It looks phenomenal. The design was just like, wow. Now this is how you design a fucking Starfleet vessel. So I'm gonna wait for Eagle Moss to release it, the tiny version of it. No, but we see the whole scene, we see the whole storyline, what's happening on board. They integrate some sort of Borg technology on board the ship, so probably Starfleet has incorporated some of the Borg elements on it, which is a good thing. We see Rios, he's in command as a captain, he's reinstated his rank pips and everything. Also, the side note, Paramount Plus, stop making new uniforms. This is the last one I bought. This is from the first season of Picard. And now you have more new uniforms. Another version of a uniform. I'm going broke. Stop redesigning uniforms. And I really should have muted that. But I don't have money to spend on every uniform they make. Every new show, every new season of any iteration of Star Trek has a new design of a uniform. Stop it, please. I don't have any money anymore. No, it's a joke. Pardon me. Oh, I need to go to sickbay after this. So yeah, we see the whole subline. We see a rift opening up, which is so clearly that's a Borg rift. It's got a green color, and we clearly see, we all recognize it. It's a Borg subspace conduit opening. For some reason, the computer doesn't even recognize it anymore. I know it's been maybe a while since the Borg were like in contact with Starfleet, so that could be it. And then we skip to basically where Seven is at the La Serena, like the little ship from season 1. It's basically turned around. I think it's like redesigned or something. It's the same ship, but the exterior is either damaged or has extra hull plating or something like that. It looked totally different for some reason. I could miss it, but it was, I think, like 2 seconds of a flash shot of them, you know, traveling to space. It's barely visible in that moment. And we see 7 of 9 back, full action. Her ship just get boarded, I think. She uses the Rios holograms. I think she integrated all of them into one solitary hologram. And actually, it's really fun. We just get like solid for a second and actually fights, you know, as a hologram against Flesh, you know, just like fights them. That's a fun scene. It was fun to see that. Then we see her like discovering the rift basically and scanning it. Then it's like 3 plots nicely coming together. We see Picard struggling with his home life. We see a weird flashback, which I will not go into what it is on the surface, because it's a nice flashback of his mom and his dad not really getting along. But I think that's going to be more resolved for the next few episodes of the upcoming season or the season after that. Because it's just like a little bit snippet of it, but it doesn't go too deep in it. So that's good. I like that. We see basically Picard getting, well, drafted again, I think, because they need him for something, and wormhole, basically the subspace rift on the Borg, is calling out to Picard, like, we need you, Picard. And Starfleet is literally just sending a shuttle towards Picard with the Admiral, which looked like the Admiral from a TNG episode. I've noticed the same one. We'll look it up on IMDb if that's supposed to be the same character, the same actress, because I was a little bit confused with that. I was like, she looks really recognizable for some reason. Could be just me. They drafted him back into Starfleet, which, again, he's ambassador of Starfleet Academy in the beginning, but they redrafted him to help Rios solve whatever it is it's contacting him. And it turns out it's the Borg, basically. It's a Borg Queen ship. And it felt like a Borg Queen. It's a bit redesigned of the Borg Queen, but you see the same basically diamond-shaped thing coming through the subspace stair, basically the transwarp conduit basically exiting it. And we see a really nice fucking fleet shot. We see basically the Queen asking to join Starfleet. And she comes out of the ship basically, and it's a really fucking nice shot. You see the doors opening, you see the front side of the Stargazer. We see a lot of other Starfleet vessels coming together, which I spotted a few of them. I will not go over them, but there's a few of starting online even. We see her literally coming and basically try to invade the ship. I have no idea if that's an open window of a hologram or whatever, but she apparently comes towards the bridge very close and uses her tentacle things to access the ship systems because we're integrated with Borg tech. Why would you do that? Before we can actually have the big fight, I think Seven shoots first at the Queen. I don't know if it's actually the Queen for some reason. I have no idea if it's actually the Queen of the Borg. It could be somebody else, like it's like time travel stuff. And she shoots at the Queen like a few times because, of course, her history with the Borg Queen and the Borg itself has, clouded her judgment a bit. But she just fires first and the whole firefight happens, which she doesn't kill everybody. The Queen could just shoot everybody and just kill everybody, but she stuns everybody. So basically it's more of a self-defense because everybody starts shooting at her. For some reason, I have no idea why everybody's shooting at her, because we have said, stop shooting. We begin shooting. It's like a bad cop movie. It's like they keep on fucking shooting at her. So basically we get this big firefight happening on the bridge, which all three storylines will come together. It's really nicely done. We see the same thing happen like in the first 2 minutes or before the opening credits. We see that thing happening and Picard says, out of the Struck sequence, which is a nice reference to the old Struck sequence, 00 Lambda. It's basically how the old show and Star Trek 3 did the same out of the Struck sequence. We see the ship getting blown up with the Borg Queen, but before that we have EDPF song playing, and it was a bit weird, like the song from, Inception playing in the background. I was like, why is that playing? Why is that a French song of EDPF? Why is that playing on there? And I think that has something to do with later in the season, Again, it's a time travel thing, and that's the problem with time travel, like, you can get a little tidbit of the information, and then after a few episodes, you sort of puzzle it together. So yeah, that was good. We see the ship blow up. You see him waking up in the Chateau Picard again with, I think, the planetary shield around it. Like, we see the hexagons, which, again, hexagons, this is a Marvel reference because we have a hexagon reference from the WandaVision show, and now we got hexagons in Star Trek Picard. What's going on? It looks sort of different. We see his uniform, his car, like, I don't think it's a uniform, I think it's like a leather jacket with a new comm badge. Like, you see the comm badge and, like, stripes on it. It looks really different. You see him walking around, asking for Neris. One of the androids from season 1 comes in and doesn't offer any fucking help because this is clearly an altered timeline, like a different timeline that just, that hasn't happened yet. And then we see the best shot ever. We see Q returning. But before we see the old Q, like we've seen in the trailer, like John Delancey, how he is now, we basically see like a de-aged version of Q. Like the last time we saw him, like in Voyager, I think, like Q2, basically we saw him there, and he looks so freaking similar. I was like, oh, let me update myself. And he just snaps his finger and his face is like John Delancey, how he looks now. It was one hell of a way of ending an episode. Like getting us hooked for the next episode that comes on this Thursday. So, bravo! This episode was just like a filet mignon cooked to fucking perfection, the way it should have been. But this felt like a movie. This felt like a 10 out of 10 for me. If they could have made a movie out of this, like the sequel to Nemesis, I would be fine with it. So yeah, my ranking on this, for me it's an 8 out of 10. Why not higher? Because of some like unanswered questions, which again is a serialized show, has a few episodes per season, so hopefully some of those answers will be solved and given to us as viewers. I can't wait for episode 2, and if you like these kind of reviews, show some love down in the comment section below, and be seeing you in the next one. I would say live long and prosper, but I can't do this every review. So, bye lovelies. Still gonna look for this Vector Gino. Olsen! Back to Gino, please. Thank you so much. And don't beam me back.